"Hey, I really like this grounded and beautiful manga, and I wanted to share it with you all. Make sure to support the original creator and check out the comments section to learn more." It's the Chronicle of Truth, year 952. Someone slams his hand on the desk and shouts, "Cut it out already, why don't you do as I say?" "Look here, start reading from this part. Hey, why are you waiting? Hurry up." The kid screams and blasts the wall, knocking the guy out with a single shout. In the nation of Lavarta, at Lily Village, a man is walking when he notices a girl crying for help. He asks, "Kid, are you okay?" She replies, "Ow, it hurts." He asks, "Did you trip on something?" The girl nods. The man pauses and looks around, making sure no one is watching them. Then he kneels down and tells her to stay still, healing her with magic. The man asks, "All done. Does it still hurt?" The girl smiles. "That's amazing. Thank you, mister." A woman calls out for the little girl. She apologizes. "I'm sorry, did she bother you?" The man replies, "No, not really." The girl says, Mama, he made the pain go away without any medicine. This mister is a mage?" The woman, with a terrified look, pushes the man. "Get away from us, you disgusting mage." Startled, the man stands up and leaves. The woman scolds the little girl. "Ellie, why don't you ever listen? I always tell you not to go near mages. Their magic is filthy. It doesn't matter if he can use healing magic or not, just don't get involved with them. All mages are filthy animals." The man narrates. On rare occasions, a child may be born with a special organ called the vein of guidance. It allows them to turn imagination into reality, a phenomenon known as magecraft. Those who wield it are called mages. But in Lavarta, mages are despised as vulgar and treated as the lowest of all beings. As he reaches his house, someone is waiting for him outside. He says, "Hello, Mr. Leon. It's really you, it's been a while." Surprised, Leon replies, Are you Darish, right?" Leon cleans his dusty table and says, "It's already been 4 years since you left the academy, huh? I almost couldn't recognize you. It seems you've gotten a lot bigger." Darish replies, "My apologies for coming here without any prior notice." Leon says, It's fine. "You must have a lot going on at the Black Iron Fortress, right?" Darish replies, "Oh yes, it's pretty rough. My hands are full with both work and studies." Leon says, "I see, that's good news." Darish looks around and asks, I was wondering, where is your disciple?" Leon replies, Disciple? No, I'm by myself at the moment. I've been living out here for personal reasons, but it's pretty far away." Leon pauses. "Judging by your expression, it doesn't seem like you're here to reminisce about old times." "What, a Seldian boy?" Darish says. "Yes, he's about 10 years old. Although a Seldian, he has tremendous innate magical abilities. The Black Iron Fortress took him from the orphanage with the goal of creating a powerful mage." Leon replies, "Well, I wonder, they probably want to use the boy for their own research and experiments." Darish says, "Yes. It's rather cruel to force that onto a child. But no matter how hard they try, the boy won't listen. He refuses to learn any magic they attempt to teach. It's almost as if he turns into a wild animal whenever it comes to learning. And if they try to force him, he resists violently. To be honest, I'm surprised no one has lost their life yet." Flashback to the Black Iron Fortress, where Darish overheard 2 seniors talking. They said many of them saw the child as a risk to the country. After all, someone with that much magical potential refusing to learn how to control it is no different from a bomb. They were even thinking of disposing of him. But Darish didn't feel the same. Darish says to Leon, "Would you be willing to take him in as your disciple?" Leon gives a confused expression, and Darish continues, "Back when I was 12, everyone around me said I had no talent as a mage. Almost all the teachers and mentors wouldn't spare any time for me. But you were different. You didn't abandon me. I'm only working as a mage now thanks to your guidance. I see much of myself in that kid. Please, I beg you." Shocked, Leon says, Wait a minute. That's a task even the first-tier mages from the Black Iron Fortress couldn't accomplish. And you're saying you want me to do it. You should know that, as a mage, I'm not even considered 3rd tier." Darish replies, "But that doesn't mean there's no chance of success. Since even the best mage in the country couldn't do it, I have no other choice. You are essentially my last hope. If you won't take him in, then he will be lost." Seeing Darish cry, conflicted Leon says, Fine, I'll do it." While lying down on his bed, Leon thinks about Darish's words. Someone will bring the boy in a few days. Closing his eyes, he wonders, was this the right choice? If he goes berserk and causes damage to the village, their hatred for mages will only grow and may even turn hostile. He sits up and mutters, before that even happens, there's a good chance I'll lose my life if I get caught in the boy's magic. Ah, can I really do this? Honestly, I just want to run away. Looking up at the ceiling, Leon whispers, what would you do in my situation, teacher Sayers? A glimpse from 9 years ago, students are practicing magic in the training grounds. Streams of water float unevenly in the air, some collapsing before reaching their target. The teacher says, many of you are not controlling the water properly. You must focus and concentrate. Her eyes shift to young Leon, whose magic control stuns everyone. The teacher smiles and says, excellent job, Leon. Your control is remarkable. Let this serve as a reminder to everyone, never neglect your daily training. Good magic requires a solid foundation after all. Leon bows slightly and says, thank you, teacher. One student whispers, Leon's magic control is amazing as always. Another nods and adds, yeah, maybe he's not the same as us. Leon frowns in thought, not the same as us. What are you even talking about? The teacher says, you must not take magic control lightly. On the contrary, you must become better at it if you wish to live as normal people, that is. As you all know, those born with the pulse of guidance are often considered lowly and dangerous. The reason is simple. Those who cannot control their magical energy may go berserk and cause harm to their surroundings. On the other hand, those who can control their magic are qualified to become mages. Mages can be employed by various cities and guilds, and these guilds will then assign them important duties, such as maintaining public order. One student scoffs and says, to hell with that. No way I'm wasting my time working for some rundown guild. I'm aiming for the Black Iron Fortress. If I get employed there, I'll be set for life. As Leon stands deep in thought, one of the students asks the teacher about lunch. Leon watches as the teacher leaves with the other students, their voices fading in the distance. Sitting alone, he raises his hand and quietly chants a spell. A small stream of water forms in his palm, shimmering faintly before settling into shape. But the effort weighs heavily on him. His breathing turns uneven and his body feels drained. Clenching his fist, Leon thinks, no matter how much I try, the amount of water I can create is always this small. My vein of guidance, it's just too weak. That's why I can't perform magic on a larger scale. It doesn't matter how precise my control is, no one will hire a mage who can't wield powerful magic. I'm not needed by anyone, damn it. Leon growls as he punches the ground in frustration. Suddenly, faint voices drift from the nearby bushes. He turns his head and sees a boy crouched there, crying. Leon blinks in surprise and says, Grey Darish, what are you doing over there? The boy looks up with teary eyes. Startled, Leon adds, wait, you still don't know how to control your magic. Crying, Darish replies, everyone else can already do it, but I can't. I don't know why. Leon says, I see magic control is something you learn intuitively. It would be easier to explain if he already knew the feeling. How should I go about this? After a while, Leon begins to explain to Grey, in this world, there is energy flowing all around us, though it's invisible to the eyes. This energy is called the pulse of magic. If you can link your vein of guidance with the pulse of magic, then you'll be able to feel the rhythm of the world itself. So, let's try to sharpen your senses. Stay calm, concentrate, and try to listen to a distant sound. You can do that, right? Darish closes his eyes and focuses, while Leon gently holds his hand. At first, Leon feels nothing. He explains, magic control is how you connect to the pulse of magic. By linking to it, you can draw on its energy and bring forth a physical manifestation of imagination. All I need to do now is use his vein of guidance to help him create this link. Once he knows what the sensation feels like, he'll be able to do it by himself in the future. Leon pauses, then nods slightly. It's weak, but there's a connection. He begins to chant, O water of deep blue, by the name of thee, benevolent being, I ask thee to come forth. Gush and torrent across the land, strip and peel away all that stands in your path. Pierce through filthy souls, become the sacred arrow of origin. As the chant ends, a massive water bubble floats between them, shocking them both. They collapse to the ground in surprise. Darish gasps, wow. Just now, I felt this strange sensation, like something was pulling me from the inside. Amazing. Is that what magic control feels like? Still stunned, Leon thinks. This was the first time I've tried something like this, but now I know. The difference in the amount of energy is just too much. Could it be that he's special? No, surely he's the same as the others. But for there to be such a huge difference, I can't believe it. My vein of guidance really is this weak. Darish kneels, eyes shining, and asks, "Can we do that again later? Please teach me more about magic control." Somewhat frustrated, Leon clenches his fist and thinks, "To hell with this." But he stops as he sees Darish's sweet, innocent smile. Leon sighs, then offers his hand to help him up, thinking, "I am incompetent. That's an undeniable truth. Even so, I can still help anyone who needs me." A montage shows Leon teaching Darish while also studying on his own, constantly pushing himself. Time passes and Leon watches other students graduate and leave. One day, Leon knocks on a door. As he steps inside, he says, "Teacher, you wanted to see me?" The teacher nods and asks, "Leon, how old are you now?" Leon replies, 17. "I'll turn 18 in a few months." The teacher closes her eyes and says, "I see, it's already been 10 years since you arrived here. Since you're a smart one, you're probably already aware of the truth. Leon, as a mage, your ability is lower than 3rd tier. Your pulse of guidance is too weak. I take it you didn't receive any offers from the guilds this time?" With a shaking voice, Leon answers, "No, I didn't." The teacher says, It's really a shame. You put in more effort than anyone else when it comes to studying magic. Out of all the disciples I've taught, you are undoubtedly number 1 in knowledge and magic control. I'd even say you could match the best mages of the Iron Fortress in those aspects. But unfortunately, you needed more than that. Have you thought about what to do in the future? Leon replies quietly, "No, not really." Inwardly, Leon thinks, "I don't have anyone I can call family. Even if I wanted to work, who would hire an impotent mage like me? I'm no different from a pebble on the road, totally useless. A loser." Interrupting Leon's thoughts, the teacher says, "I've heard that you've been mentoring one of the younglings." Leon stiffens and replies, Yes." The teacher narrows her eyes and says, "I'm talking about Gray." Nervous, Leon bows his head and apologizes, "I'm very sorry, teacher. I was acting out of line." The teacher sighs and says, "Your methods were rather dangerous, especially since they involved a prohibited technique. If the connection isn't done properly, it could reverse the flow of magic, causing major harm to the internal organs. That being said, since your vein of guidance is weak, the amount of energy you draw is also quite small. So even if the flow were reversed, Gray would probably still be fine. There's no need to worry." Nervous, Leon replies, I see." The teacher continues, "I often say it, don't I? Better to experience something than just study it. Trying things firsthand is much more effective than only learning the theory. Overall, your method of teaching was interesting." Leon looks away and thinks, "I see, am I being praised?" The teacher says, How about this? Leon, do you want to be my successor?" Confused, Leon stammers, "Successor, me?" The teacher continues, "You see, I was contacted by my long-lost sister recently. She asked me to come live with her. So I thought maybe it's finally a good opportunity to experience this family thing at least once in my life." Leon says, Please wait a minute. This is too sudden." The teacher stands and says, "Of course, this estate, as well as all the books here, will be left in your possession." Leon pauses, then lowers his gaze and says, "But why me? I'm a failure. Why would you want to make someone like me your successor?" The teacher replies, "While it may be true that your abilities are not on the same level as others, precisely because of that, don't you think you can see what others cannot? Perhaps, in order for you to guide others, you must go and find what only you can do." Her words echo in Leon's mind, blurring the memory and pulling him back to the present. A senior from the Black Iron Fortress calls for Leon. When Leon opens the door, he sees the boy, standing there in a miserable, worn-out condition. Leon asks the boy, Did you sleep well?" Still gloomy, the boy doesn't answer his question. As he gets ready to leave, Leon says, "That's your breakfast on the table. I have to head out now. There's another student I need to teach. Stay here and make yourself at home, just don't cause any trouble." "You got it right? Hey, did you hear what I said?" Seeing him unresponsive, Leon shakes his head and says, "Oh, come on, give me a break. What's your name?" If you don't tell me, I'll just keep calling you hey or you, or maybe I'll give you a pet's name. Hearing this, the boy flinches and stares at Leon. After a pause, he finally speaks. Zechs, my name is Zechs. Just a recap of this world. North of Lavarta lies a special autonomous region called Cadentia. It is a desolate land where winters are long and harsh. Because of the severe climate, farming is nearly impossible. This area once belonged to the neighboring country of Shiel. About 80 years ago, silver ores were discovered in Cadentia. This led the two countries, Lavarta and Shiel, to clash over its ownership. After numerous wars, Lavarta emerged victorious and claimed Cadentia. However, the people of Cadentia were unhappy with Lavarta's selfish rule. Seeking independence, they rebelled against their new rulers, and the bloodshed continued. The Seldians are nomadic tribes who live in the Sierra Mountains. They are not part of any country and often move across borders, but they mostly keep to themselves. Lavarta saw this as arrogance, and many people looked down on them. During the wars, many Seldians were killed unfairly, but the Lavarta government ignored it. Zechs, a Seldian boy, said his family died after being dragged into a conflict. He was the only one left and was sent to an orphanage with other children. A young lady says, "Wow, so you finally found a disciple." Leon replies, "It's a bit presumptuous for me to say this, but Rosalind, you're sort of like my disciple as well." Rosalind smiles sweetly and says, "Yes, of course." "Ah, if I may ask, how old is your disciple?" Leon answers, I believe he's about 12 years old and his name is Zechs." Rosalind says, "Ah, I see, so he's a boy." Noticing her reaction, Leon says, "You look disappointed for some reason." Rosalind apologizes, "Ah, I'm sorry. It's just that sometimes I wish there was another girl around my age I could talk to, haha." "Anyway, what is he like?" Leon says, "Well, I'm not sure. We haven't really talked that much. I don't know if it's because of his past experiences that he dislikes talking to others, or maybe he just hasn't let his guard down yet since it hasn't been long since we met. But at the very least, I can tell he really hates learning magic. He probably didn't have much freedom before coming to my place, so for now, I want to let him do as he likes." Rosalind replies, "He's a rather complicated child, nevertheless, I think I'd like to meet him." Leon shakes his head and says, "I don't think that will be possible." Rosalind smiles and says, "Ha, yes, you're right." Leon thinks, Rosalind is the daughter of Sir Andrus, a noble. Normally, it would be impossible for a mage like me to associate with a noble's daughter. However, since early childhood, Rosalind was brought to this mansion and raised here, away from prying eyes. She possesses the vein of guidance, and Andrus is afraid of others discovering this fact. She's a fast learner and quite talented. There's no risk of her powers going out of control. I think I'm almost done teaching her the basics now." As Rosalind ponders while holding a magically crafted swan, she says, "I'm really sorry, but I think I have to take a break from our lessons for a while. I'll be leaving the mansion for some time. Hopefully, we can continue when I return." Leon replies, "I see. That's a shame, we were almost there." Rosalind smiles sweetly and says, "When I return, please tell me some stories about you and your disciple. I'll look forward to it." Leon walks back home through the village thinking, she has to leave the mansion. I always assumed they would hide their daughter away forever. I guess things happen unexpectedly sometimes. Anyway, I have my own problems. How should I start dealing with that kid? One of the villagers spots Leon and shouts, "There he is!" Confused, Leon looks at the approaching villagers. One of the villagers, with an angry face, shouts, "Where the hell is that monster?" Leon is shocked as they drag him to the site of a collapsed house. Another villager says, "Look, this is the work of that little monster. You better take responsibility for this." Leon looks at the injured child and the mother's expression of disdain directed at him. The villagers slowly encircle Leon, approaching with farming tools in hand. Shaking, Leon thinks, "That damn bastard." Leon kneels and says, "I'm sorry, I am really sorry about this." The angry mob shouts, "I don't want to hear your shitty apology. How could you let that dangerous animal roam free? He broke my child's arm. Just tell us where that bloody kid is." Leon begs for mercy, saying, I will bring him and I'll make him apologize. The angry crowd roars back, do you think a simple apology is enough? It was a terrible idea to let this damn mage hang around our village. Terrified, Leon thinks, this is bad. The fire is already lit. They're not going to calm down no matter what I do or say. Since they're already this riled up, they probably won't hesitate to go all the way. Sweating, Leon hears the tightening of weapon grips as the villagers close in. His heartbeat spikes. He expects a brutal beating. Then suddenly someone calls out, hey, just leave it at that. Everyone turns to see an old man. One villager says, Mr. Olga. Olga steps forward and says in a deep voice, don't you lot have work to do? Go back to it, I'll sort this out. One villager objects, but we still need to deal with that kid. Olga snaps, cleaning up a disciple's mess is the teacher's job. Stop standing around. Now hurry up and scram. Olga approaches Leon and says, as for you, mage, make sure you bring that kid here. Gulping, Leon nods and leaves. Leon slammed his fist against the tree, bark splitting under his knuckles. God damn it, that shitty kid, he roared. He sucked in a sharp breath, his chest rising and falling. For a moment, visions flickered before his eyes, angry villagers, restless Zechs, all staring him down with scorn. Shit, he muttered, moving slowly, almost dragging his feet. Leon finally spotted Zechs and called out to him. The wounded Zechs shot him a sharp glare. You went berserk and injured the village kid. I'm not wrong, am I? Leon demanded. So what? Zechs spat back. You're going to apologize, so come with me. Zechs ground his teeth, then flicked his hand. A burst of wind blasted Leon backward as Zechs snarled, fuck off. The powerful wind whipped around, leaves scratching Leon's face and hands, even though he tried to shield himself. Zechs shouted, you can say that because you don't know what they said to me. Leon paused for a moment, then muttered, don't know what they said, huh? Let me guess, monster. Or maybe filthy, disgusting. Oh, maybe you've never experienced it because you're a Seldian. Zechs froze, eyes wide. You don't know how I feel, Leon said. Of course I don't. I'm not a Seldian, as you know. But as a mage, I've seen and experienced all kinds of things, so, to an extent, I know how you feel. Shut up, Zechs snapped. Leon thought, is he going to retreat back into his shell again? This kid has enough talent to reach the Black Iron Fortress, while I had no future from the beginning. Shut up, Zechs snapped. You don't know anything. Nobody can understand how I feel. There's no way they can. So stop saying crap like you know how I feel. Annoyed, Leon thrust his hand forward, seizing Zechs by the collar. Cut it out, you fucking brat, he shouted. Zechs froze, eyes wide with surprise, as Leon's voice thundered on. Do you know what I had to go through after what you did? Those people are just brainless trash who only know how to harass the weak. Yet I had no choice but to prostrate before them. All because of your stupid stunt, I seriously thought I was going to be killed by those damn villagers. Think about how much trouble you're going to cause before doing something, damn it. Leon, breathing heavily, began to slow down. Zechs held his hand and with a quivering voice said, It wasn't my fault. They're the ones who hit me first. Those idiots are just a bunch of gutless bullies, so I had to teach them a lesson. Leon's expression softened. He loosened his grip on Zechs and said, You're right. It's not your fault. Nobody has the right to harass or ridicule others, nor should anyone have the right to force others to submit to them. But reality isn't like that. We live in a world where hatred for mages and minorities has already been carved deep into society. There are simply too many who use that hatred to dominate others, just to feel powerful. Leon held Zechs gently and said, Zechs, you must never be like them. Never lower yourself to their level. You have the power of magic, something they don't possess. If you use that power just to get even, then you're no different from them. Zechs paused, clenching his fists. Even so, I don't like being made fun of. I don't want to just stand there and take the hits. Leon replied calmly, Then you should return to the Black Iron Fortress. Someday in the future, people will be far less likely to mess with you if you work there. Zechs shrugged off Leon's hand and said, Impossible. Then he walked away, leaving Leon behind. Zechs, wait, Leon called, but Zechs didn't even look back. Leon walked back toward the village, his head lowered, until he came across the old village chief. The chief studied him and said, "I don't see the boy with you." Leon replied, "Sorry I couldn't get him to come, so instead I'll take responsibility." The chief sighed. "It's fine, just leave it, you'll only make the villagers angrier." "Ha, I've seen many things in my years, but this is the first time I've seen something like that." The boy blew away a hut as if it were nothing. "I dare say he's a real monster. But it's best if you keep him away from the village. If something like this happens again, I don't think my words will calm anyone next time." His eyes hardened. "You also need to be more careful with your own actions, so will you heed this old man's advice?" Leon silently nodded. As Leon was about to leave, the chief called out, "Oh, before you go, take these with you." Leon looked back and saw clothes in the chief's hands. "Why are you giving these to me?" he asked. The chief chuckled. "Kids at that age tend to get dirty and smelly easily." "Well, that's just one thing on a long list." Confused, Leon just stared. The chief continued, "Wearing tattered clothes like a vagrant doesn't exactly help you stay out of people's eyes. On the contrary, it's like asking to be picked on." Leon's eyes widened as he realized the torn Zechs' clothes. "I see you've noticed," the chief said. "Those are my son's old clothes, but they should still be good to wear. My lovely wife made them, after all." Leon paused, thinking, I totally missed it. If I had paid more attention, I could have realized a little sooner. "Ah," the chief chuckled. "Men are usually slow when it comes to these things." Leon replied, "With all due respect, aren't you a man as well?" The chief's smile widened. "Ha, my wife was the one who told me about it." As the chief walked away, Leon bowed deeply, thanking him. Meanwhile, Zechs sat on a rock, gazing at the moon, lost in thought. Leon, too, was deep in his own reflections.